when you're eating a Snickers, do you eat it vein side up or vein side down?
You can ask that question about a lot of things, Allie. Well, really, there's two things I can think of you could ask that about.
But for real.
It's the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Allie.
And another thing. I want to talk about Scott and I do a lot of events.
Yeah.
And I did this event yesterday. Now, the event was great. It's that, and this is a nice gesture. They don't have to do this, so now I'm gonna have to put my nice spin on it. But they provided lunch and drinks. But can I get a freaking Diet Coke?
Well, they didn't have a Diet Coke?
No, it was water and coffee, and that was it.
Oh, somebody forgot something.
Yeah, you dropped the ball.
Seriously.
I'm here for 3 hours.
Somebody forgot something.
And I love water. Believe me, I sucked down.
I love water.
Well,
said no one but a fish.
No, I do.
I love water.
I'm drinking water right now. I love water.
Well,
Don't get me wrong.
It's the phrasing. I love water.
But nobody's trying to chomp down a roast beef or a ham sandwich with some water. It's like the people who eat spaghetti and water. Ew. Gross.
Oh, you mean as their beverage of choice along with the meal?
Yeah, you gotta have a Diet Coke. You can't pizza and water.
Water.
No. At least give me. They should at least have Diet Coke, regular Coke. That's what I think. When I'm hosting an event, I don't know. I look at it like I'm hosting.
I think somebody forgot something because you said that they had lovely brown bag lunches.
Oh my God, the cookies.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was actually stealing bottles of water out of other people's bags. Because
I don't know why this whole story. I got to tell this. So we have, we're just going to call him janky sales guy Jeff.
He's really nice.
He's not. He is one of the most lovable guys.
He is very lovable. I know what you're going to say.
Out of the blue, some of the weirdest stuff happens with this guy, right? So
I want to meet Jeff's family. You know how you meet somebody at work and you're like, what is their family like? Scott, I do want to meet your brothers. I've never met your brothers.
Oh, they're vastly different. And not only different from me, but different from each other.
But okay, what I really mean is, I wish I could have met your parents. I think that would
you could have too.
But
you would have totally understood me once you met my mom. If you would have met my father, you'd have been like, what traits did you get from him? Because I'm not picking that up.
Well, and I know that Zach always says that he is much different at work than he is at home. And I bet you when people meet his mom, now some of it would make sense. Like you're always saying on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very Gail. Like you said it today, you referenced my gosh, the things that I do are very much like Gail.
I don't want to be insulting, but you might be turning into Gail. All right. There are elements that are beginning to crack through.
Gailism's creeping all the time. I have been told this so many times. And here's how it originated. People recognized it. Do you remember when I pranked my mom about the Easter basket a couple years ago?
Oh, God, do I.
And she wouldn't send me an Easter basket, so I was pixelating pictures of my dog and sending them to her.
She loves your dog.
Yes, and she was like, you're so mean. And I was like, well, you better send me a Easter basket, ma'am. So, not even mom, ma'am.
Ma'am.
So, my mom was sending videos of Cadbury cream eggs that she purchased as proof. So I would send her pictures of Junior.
This is so great.
So once I started showing people this video of my mom at the grocery store. So just picture this. My dad in the middle of they have Giant Eagle, but let's go with Wegmans for right now.
Whatever, yeah.
They're in the picture, or they're in the grocery store, and picture my dad holding a phone out, recording my mom holding Cadbury cream eggs like, okay, young lady, I got you your Cadbury cream eggs. So as I was showing people this video of my mom, I heard time and time again, oh my gosh, you're just like your mom. And I'm like,
I don't even have to say it.
You be quiet. I am not. But I think I'm a lot like my dad too.
I think you wish you were.
Oh, shut up, Scott. Shut up.
Well, back to this whole thing about
So
Jeff.
wait, hold on.
Oh, God,
so I think if I met Jeff's parents, maybe it would explain who he is as a person.
Yeah,
now
I don't
tell
know.
the story. Now tell the story.
I don't know. Well, so Jeff is just such a unique dude. He really does have a great heart. There's no getting around it.
does.
But I want you to envision this. Allie is the said radio broadcast host at a job fair yesterday. Numerous businesses that were there, looking to increase their employee and their staff count, right?
Yes.
And you're hobnobbing with people and learning about their businesses and figuring out a little bit. I mean, you have to realize what you may not know about Allie, and you may know this, is you will turn the personality all the way up when you're at these events, and it's the way you do it, and you are having a good time with these people and chatting with them and genuinely showing interest, and the whole thing, right?
Very inquisitive.
And then here comes Jeff, the way you described it to me, and it really just took me apart. I couldn't help but laugh my ass off. Here comes Jeff coming around the corner. Hey, Ellie, because he talks like that. He's like, hey, Ellie, I brought you a brown bag lunch. And I'm dying here because it's the most Jeff thing. Here's Allie meeting everybody, the owners and the HR people of these businesses. Jeff out hunting for the brown bag lunch, which now we know you stole waters from other people's brown bag lunch, which means they were.
Because I've been sick, so I was thirsty.
Yeah, well,
and all we had was water as an option.
Theft. I mean, really? So.
Well, and I will give Jeff credit. He does take care of us. When
He
it comes
does.
To,
He produces.
We were at NASCAR last year,
Yes.
and do you remember? I got you
Watkins Glen International.
Watkins Glen International.
Yeah.
That's right. He brought. Okay, you guys, here's some Papa John's for you.
Oh yeah, he did. He'll walk across. He'll get. No, he's very considerate. But it's just so
He's
funny
considered
that.
on the food and the drink aspect.
Oh God, yeah. But it's just humorous in the sense here's Allie doing just smoozing everybody, and I brought you a propane.
Oh yes.
But by the way, side note, there is something about a brown bag lunch. Mm-hmm. There's something about that, and if you ever get like a lunch in a box, not like if you go to like Popeye's Chicken where they serve it like that, but
You're
if
like bento.
Almost.
Yeah.
There is just, you give me something, I don't care if it's a hot dog, a bag of chips, and an apple.
Yeah.
Put it in a box. Why does it taste better?
Oh my gosh, that and there's two things that appear on a sandwich in the summertime that I wish appeared more often. I love some crispy lettuce on a sandwich.
Sure.
Which usually happens at events like this. They put it and they put the tomato, they got the crispy lettuce on it, and they really take care of a sandwich when it comes to
build
that.
it up. Is the other one the giant dill pickle that shows up in the summer?
Giant dill pickle.
Giant dill
it's
pickle.
always in that parchment paper.
Yes, the sleeve. Yeah, you put that in a box with a hot dog, a bag of chips, and an apple.
Sold.
Oh my God! Forget a fine dining restaurant that tastes so good. Why in a box?
That's why I said I went to that hot dog place in Corning, right on Market Street, for the first time in 20. I've lived here for almost 20 years.
Yeah,
and I went to that hot dog place. It was the best hot dogs I've ever had.
Do they serve it in a box?
No. Well, maybe they would if I was taking it to go.
Yeah.
But we got it on the tray. Got it on the tray.
Yeah.
And
nice.
But it had so they have all different variations. You can get with like the sauerkraut and the cheese, meat sauce, sauerkraut cheese, meat sauce, sauerkraut. Oh my gosh, I almost said sour cream. Sauerkraut, onions, cheese. I mean, the variations are just out of this world.
Worlds colliding.
There used to be a place in my hometown, I'm sure it's probably still there, called the Happy Dog, where it was hot dogs and you would check off all the toppings you wanted.
Oh, nice.
And then they'd give you creation options. It was so good because they would be loaded up. It would be crushed Doritos.
Here's the thing.
God,
I'm gonna say this as we are moving into warmer weather finally after a winter.
What?
We get burger joints galore between fast food places and everybody else. Everybody thinks the burger is the way to go. Let me tell you,
the dog.
The forgotten hero in all of it is the hot dog.
And I gotta tell you, it's not that I want to talk about my ex very often, but he hated hot dogs, and I've explained this before on the show.
Well, you don't necessarily need to know everything about a hot dog to enjoy a hot dog, if you know what I mean.
Well, no, what it was, and this is why I feel like I had not really gone to a hot dog joint or really enjoyed one in 6 years, because we were together for that long, is because he went to Alfred and they have this thing called Alfred's Hot Dog Days.
Oh, I've heard of this.
And he wouldn't eat hot dogs after college because he said if you mix too many hot dogs and beer together, you know what happens.
But that's I'm betting they were more the boiled, not really like great hot dogs. I'm talking like if you're in a place that, like you were talking, the Happy Dog or the place maybe on Seneca Lake. There's another place that does
that
hot
place
dogs.
is closed.
Oh, is it?
I heard. Well, I don't want to say too much, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to come back.
Well, but either way, if it's a good sized dog, you know what I mean? And there's
Large
a place,
wiener.
Yep, large wiener. There's a place in Buffalo that does them. Ted's hot dog stands. It's a little. It's a baby chain around Buffalo.
But theirs is on more of like a flat griddle.
No, Ted's does theirs over a charbroil. They do it over charcoal.
I was there once. I thought it was a griddle.
No, they
Oh.
absolutely. You can watch if you get there at the right time. They're pouring the bag of charcoal into the grill to cook them. So anyway, a nice, good size, a premium dog, not a freaking ballpark, a premium dog.
Yeah.
And you do those right kind of toppings. I would order one or two of those anywhere rather than a burger anywhere.
Oh, I know
anywhere.
it. I know it. And our coworker, after I told her about my hot dog experience, she had turned me on to another one, and she said they have the best meat sauce. So I might be going on the hot dog world tour.
Yeah, well, the meat sauce is a debatable thing for me, but we don't
I
need
love
to go
it.
there.
Okay, another debatable thing.
Yeah.
When you're eating a Snickers, do you eat it vein side up or vein side down?
You can ask that question about a lot of things, Allie. Well, really, there's two things I can think of you could ask that about.
But for real, what is it?
Yeah, I think it's vein side up.
Always vein side up.
Yes.
Well, never, but now I want to try it vein side down.
You do you.
I don't know
The
why.
weekend's coming.
I don't know why, but I feel like,
Where did the vein side down thing come from?
we have to turn it upside down.
No shit, Sherlock. I'm
Oh,
talking
then what?
about. Is this a TikTok trend or
Oh no, I was talking to my significant.
or was this a you on the shitter thought of the moment?
Well, no, I was talking to my love, my significant other, and it's just one of those like,
And he said, "Go ahead, eat it vein side up or down. I don't care. Just eat it."
which leads me into my next story. You ready?
Oh, we're already moving on
well,
because
let's-
I
okay,
could have spent a minute on the Snickers.
Oh, go ahead. Give me the Snickers thing.
I was figuring that maybe this was like a social media trend that you were asking me because if you think about it, Snickers are layered. If you go from the veins down, this is such a weird thing.
Oh, you're right.
You've got
Yes.
different, So I didn't know if flipping it upside down, changed the way that certain flavors hit your taste buds. But
Oh, I bet you it does. I also think that when you're so used to eating something a certain way, like the way I eat a Twinkie is a certain way, the way I eat a Reese's peanut butter cup is a certain way, that I couldn't eat it a different way because.
But it's kind of ironic the way she eats a Twinkie and a banana.
I don't eat bananas, and you know that.
Very, very similar style. Vein side up.
Always vein side up. Always. It's like a guide, really.
Yeah.
So, last Saturday. I'm at this pop-up shop, and one of these boutique-y things. Now, for those of you who don't live in the area, it's a clothing boutique. Now,
Yeah.
you can go to the boutique, and you can shop one-on-one with the owner, and then she'll dress you and all that great stuff. Or occasionally they'll do a pop-up. Well, they're having a pop-up, and I had never been to
By
one.
the way, anyone that was also at that pop-up with Allie, and I know that some of you had seen her there, if you ended up sick 48 hours later, it is her fault.
Yes, because I definitely was. I was actually feeling sick like the week before, but didn't realize that's what it was because it started out as a really bad sore throat. But anyway, so at this pop-up, you're shopping for clothes and shoes and all this stuff. But there was this local influencer there. Her name, her account name is Juliet Fines. And one of her big things that she does on her social media is she will go thrifting and then reveal things. But she also does something called unclaimed mail. She buys those huge crates. I mean, where she has an 18-wheeler pull up in front of her house, and it's like, and drops this huge crate of unclaimed mail. And I'm not talking
You mean like somebody's NYSEG bills?
No, not your NYSEG bill, not paper. It's things like chargers and those thinner packages, or it might be a shirt. So basically,
Does she know what's in any of these things before she buys it? Or is
I'm
it
getting there.
Okay.
That's the beautiful part about this.
Uh-huh.
So you can see, and on the unclaimed mail, people's names have been blacked out. My guess is it was things that they were supposed to pick up at the post office, and they never did.
Yeah.
So then
or you didn't sign for it at their house.
Right.
Yeah.
So then
yeah.
it goes back to the post office. It's there for X amount of
So that
days.
summons really got delivered to your friend.
Yeah. So then it goes to wherever it goes to, and she buys this massive crate. And one of the things that she's been doing in town for quite some time now is she will take unclaimed mail to different events and has people open it on camera. So I've seen this forever. She did it. We share the same hairstylist. She did it to our hairstylist. I think she was at our Christmas event and had people open unclaimed mail at like Sparkle or Parade of Lights or whatever. So I've seen this lots, and I've really always wanted to open unclaimed mail.
Do you get to keep what you open?
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yes.
Where's she making her money? If she's putting out for this crate and all that.
She monetizes her social.
Okay, yeah. Well, you
Her
get to a certain
viewership,
point.
like, I think she's over 200,000 on TikTok.
Yeah, you get to a certain point, that'll start paying for it. But,
Right.
you know, the startup cost of that's not there.
Over 200,000 on like Instagram. So I'm sure that's where she makes most of her money. I think she probably makes a little bit on Facebook, but I think they kicked her off. That's a whole other story for another day.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, and I think that's some Facebook BS because, okay, here's the quick.
I can't wait to tell you Facebook BS. I'll get there.
Okay. So I've always wanted to open this unclaimed mail. Like my hairstylist got a piece of jewelry. I think it was like that Pandora jewelry. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to do this. At this pop-up, Julia, I see her there. We have been at many events together. We know who each other is. We chitty chat. We just have like a good vibe about each other. You know, when like people, you just connect in a way that you don't know them, but you like them. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, she comes up to me at the pop-up and she says, I have this piece of unclaimed mail and I think you're just the person to open it. Now, it's a black packaging. We can't see what it is.
Yeah.
But she's holding it. And so you can tell she kind of like can have an idea for a shape. Now you can take a guess. And I touch it and I go, oh, I think I know what this is. I think.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. And if it's that, can I keep it? Yes, of course, you get to keep whatever you want. I open it up and she goes, well, it could be a screwdriver. That was one of the things that she suggested. Yeah. So I open it up. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was. I got a vibrating butt plug.
Okay, I was thinking other hole too, but it's still the down below. All right. Wow.
And I was jumping up and down.
The fact that she sought you out and said, I think I have this just for you.
Yes.
And had a generalized clue. Well, I guess you would kind of know.
I was just so excited. And later on, I'm in the pop-up shop's checkout line and the girls in front of me, I'm telling them because they said, oh, I see you got unclaimed mail. And I told them what it was. And I was just saying how excited I was. And they said, is that what the commotion was? Up in the front of the room. Oh yeah. So she ended up making a TikTok and she tagged the Scott and Allie show.
Oh, that's awesome.
On our TikTok too.
That's great.
So that's what I got from Unclaimed Mail.
I mean, if you never do it again, you've still got a great story, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was so happy about it. I don't even care if I get unclaimed mail ever again.
Oh my God. Right. I mean, how do you top that?
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
I mean, you started at the bottom if you see what I just did. Yeah. So listen to this. While you were just on the subject of social media, right?
Uh-huh.
So now I'm going to be very honest with you when I tell you, I have not watched nor listened to this. Okay. This is something that my significant other follows and listens to. She listens to the Bunny XOXOXOXOXO podcast, right?
Yeah.
And she told me. So my significant other, Tiffany, told me this story that came up on their podcast. And I want to actually, and frankly, Bunny, if you and Mr. Roll end up, if this gets back to you, this is being said with total respect to you guys because a point was made on that podcast that I feel needs to be made over and over and over again everywhere.
What is it?
And it's not Jelly Roll. Don't feel bad. Everybody falls off the weight loss ladder. You're going to get back on. That's not what it is.
Oh, I feel that, Jelly.
Yeah, well, and he said that. That was a side note to that. I was reading an article. He goes, I feel like I lost my way a little bit. It's all right. You can get back to it.
Yeah.
But the progress has been tremendous, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, they got into talking about how comments on social media, and they vary a little bit. Well, Facebook. How many times, Allie, have you and I seen something that's posted and somebody actually took the time to write, I don't care about that.
Oh, that's the most Facebook comment ever, and I want to be like, please live.
You don't care, but you took the time to write. You don't care, then shut the fuck up. Don't say anything.
Right?
Just opt out. Move on to the next thing. What the hell is that?
That, and it's always like 62-year-old Elmer who sends that little comment, and I'm like, Elmer, stay on Facebook. We don't want you over on TikTok or Instagram.
It's like, wow. I mean, but that, you know what I'm saying? We've seen this. We're like, oh my God. So. And every platform's different. Instagram's pretty witty. Usually you're playing off, a video or something like that, and somebody's coming up with, some pretty good one-liners. That's the way that goes. X is strictly for angry politicians, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So at any rate, apparently a rumor had come out, and I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know. Like I said, that Jelly Roll likes hanging out with former criminals. Like this is the story that came out. Now, this is, and we don't know if it's true. Now, sure, some of it might be, maybe I can help the person. Maybe Jelly Roll's like, maybe I can help this person, or
that's what I was thinking.
I can relate to certain things that they went through or whatever. And you can't always judge a person based on previous actions. I mean, sometimes these people just get caught up in something, but they really do change their lives. Now, there are other people, well, they stay fucked up forever. I mean, that's just the way it is. But either way, Bunny's point was, when people get going, they take an unverified rumor and start spreading the rumor around social media. And how, and what I was getting out of it when I heard this was, she was affected by this, like, admittedly, it's happened to us in that, when people either say, well, we said this or we did this. No, that was not said, or no, that was not done. I will freely admit, have you and I had something we attempted to make be funny or make a comment that fell flat or felt the wrong way over the past 20 years that we've done the radio show together?
Oh, yeah.
Both of us have had it happen.
Yeah.
Now, 99.999% of the time, it was, a joke that fell flat, or the intentions were never meant to be harmful, but somebody took something a certain way, and, it is what it is. Okay. Yeah. But I can understand where it affects you, because you're, and really, it's good that it affects you. To a degree, you have to let it roll off, but you should let it affect you a little bit, because it really brings you back to being a human. You are, nobody really likes to have critical things said about them, or, pointed out, whatever the case may be. And I'm being very vague because there's no specifics needed, but obviously it affected them because somebody said something, and it's, of course, they're super famous people, right?
Yes.
It's going to take off like a rocket when it deals with them. Suddenly, Jelly Roll helping out an ex-con, if that was the case, I don't know, suddenly becomes, well, he's associating with this horrible group of people, and, and it just becomes this nightmare. And she was very bothered by this, and, here's her point. And God, this was such a good point.
What was it?
Do you know how much bullshit would stop like that, those BS comments or rumors that started, people just say something to try to get attention, if we had to pay for every comment we made on social media? In other words,
yes,
it's $1.
Oh my gosh.
You get, and it was so good. It was funny. Tiffany told me.
What we would do? We would mind our own damn business.
Yeah, we would. And, this is where social media got it wrong in the beginning. When they started Facebook, I understand you wanted to make it open to the world, bring people. The original, if you ever saw the movie, they wanted to bring the community together. Well, of course, things like this are going to morph into the dark side of it. But if you had to pay $1 for, I don't care about this, you wouldn't have said it, and you wouldn't have spent it.
Also, hate breeds hate,
and
love breeds love.
Yes.
And that's why, there are times where something does happen, and I would love to comment on somebody's post or video or whatever, and then I think, you know what, it just really isn't worth my time.
Right.
Plus, I don't need to be part of the domino effect. My tactic is, if something really bothered me, then I would just DM them directly.
Oh, sure. No,
because
that's
you know
great.
what? That's
but
not
a lot of people don't have the guts
cowardly.
to do that.
I know. The cowardly thing, I think, sometimes is to put these comments up, and then everyone, and especially when it's something that's so negative and hurtful, then or
potentially so not true.
Right. And
you might have gotten a piece of this, but you didn't get any of it.
It's happened to us too. I can think of a time that somebody wrote under one of our things, well, I don't like them, and said why, and then all of a sudden there was like 5 more. Yeah, I don't like them either. I'm like, okay, now
I
all
don't
of
give
a
a
sudden,
shit. Don't listen.
no, I know, but that one hate comment bred 5 more.
Yeah, and if you had to pay $1 for it, or even 50 cents, you would. Let me ask you this question: what if tomorrow all the heads of all social media had said, we did it wrong. We want to make the platform free so that you can go we use Facebook. You can go in and find an old high school friend, or you can find, your kid's friend, your kid's friends' parents, so that you can see what kind of, general idea of lifestyle they might have. Don't think people don't do that.
We all do it.
But what if they would all get back together, all of them, the head of Facebook, Instagram? Well, that's easy. That's one guy.
Yeah.
But then you got X,
TikTok.
You got all of them together, and they said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Platforms are still free. Anybody can look around and do whatever they want, but if you're going to comment, you have to pay a subscription. What do you think would happen?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay to comment.
And do you think the world might be a little better place?
We're all going to just be creeping.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are some.
I do think it would be a better place because it's people who are hiding behind a screen or a keyboard.
Yep.
So, yes, it is such a fake world and such a fake way to associate.
You could post anything you want on your page, but for anyone to comment. Anyway, now maybe you leave it where if it's a thumbs up or a like, that stays free. But to actually apply words to a comment, or have, like what Bunny was saying, have it spin out, not either non-factual in the story that she was telling, non-factual information, but somebody you spewed this out and it became what it was, or you see something that starts here. The jokes are the worst. If you put something up that's humorous, you get down a little ways, somebody took it the wrong way, and it goes that way, and you're like, that was not the original intention.
This happened to one of our coworkers. Remember on the show I was talking to you about trying to get on our page, on the Scott and Allie page, we have on our Instagram and our Instagram and our Facebook are connected, and our TikTok is separate. So in the administrative area, we have somebody who has rights to our administrative section, and she will create content. Well, she ended up getting banned from social media, from Instagram and Facebook, for 90 days. She appealed it. The 90 days was up, and they still didn't approve her appeal. So one of the things that was suggested was that the top admin, which is me, go and contact Meta. So of course I'm on the phone with them and all.
How did you even get a human?
That's what she said. I finally got a human. His name was Seema. Anyway, so what ended up happening, I was like, girl, how did you get banned from social media? And it was one of those groups. Have you ever heard of the group, Are We Dating the Same Guy?
I think I have.
And she was in one of those groups, and there was somebody who was talking about texting through it's like one of those like secret apps, not WhatsApp, but it's more of like a secret app that you can text through. And so she made a joke about it that involved the word hookers. and like you said, it was a joke. It was something that was not meant to be serious, but the word hooker is also associated with sex trafficking. And so they banned her because they affiliated the word she used with sex trafficking.
Oh, no kidding.
And got her banned.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And that wasn't her intent. And she goes, you know me, I never comment on anything. She goes, it just was one of those days I was feeling spicy, wanted to make this joke, and that completely got her banned.
Oh, so did you get her unbanned?
No. Don't even get me started. Seema couldn't do it. He said it was like a breach of privacy, and he's like, "I'm sorry, but that would be my job, and I'm not willing to do this for you." And I was like, "Okay, well."
So what did they say? Did they say she just had to wait it out or something?
Yeah. And the other solution, he goes, start a new account. She goes, yeah, but I already have. Like she's been a content creator for a long time, and she has a lot of followers.
Well, I mean, look, on the bright side only, they were policing that. Now, I know it was probably AI flagged, and it probably wasn't like, this is the one problem. Sometimes you got to be able to appeal to an actual, individual, which even in this case didn't quite work. But, this is the one problem. Sometimes it's flagged. I mean, think about how many people have been banned or temporarily, they're suspended that live out in Corning, New York on the other side of the river from Wegmans, where they said, oop, the water's pretty high on the dike.
Oh, I know. That's another one.
That's not a joke.
Yeah.
This has actually happened to people. And there really is. It's called a dike. And it's not derogatory towards anyone of a sexual preference. It's a raised piece of land to keep water out.
I think I've said this before too. My best friend, but there's been a couple people in my life who they have gotten rid of their social, and they find it so liberating.
I don't want to get rid of it. There are sometimes I really enjoy silly video, but I know you hate my Instagram stuff. Well, sometimes
I don't hate it. It's just
sometimes it's great, but once in a blue, I get a good one out to you.
Once in a blue.
But I like it like that. But I'm just thinking to myself, instead of us, and it's not a matter of free speech, because free speech was never meant to be, let's promote hate speech. It was just meant to be, you have the freedom to, pretty
bring
much
my viewpoint.
You air your viewpoint, or really, freedom of speech really deals with the media more than it does anything else, if you go right back to the roots of it. And of course, it became, anybody can say whatever they want to anybody at any given time. I suppose that, would fall into a morphed version of what it is. But the freedom of speech, freedom of press, that whole thing was basically, back so that it could be transparent back in the day, like when newspapers and wars were going on and they had to report it in the newspaper. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't need to get into it. Freedom of speech, though, to get on there and say, and I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to say it. It's too inappropriate. But, for somebody to get on there and just bash it up or just say nasty things or whatever, or don't even contribute in a positive way, like I don't care about this, but you just post.
Thanks for wasting my time. But you know what?
I think it should all go subscription. Everything's free. You can like all you want, and maybe that's where the dislike button finally comes in.
No. So if you go back to the paid thing. At first, I was like, I'm not going to do that. But then
to comment. That's it.
But I also, but the more and more that social media just becomes so prominent in our lives, I could see a lot of people paying these certain subscription tiers, because I always thought I'll never be the person.
Subscription 1, you get 5 lines a month for $5. Subscription 2, you're almost an asshole and can start making some comments that are not nice.
But then what sucks about this, then you are taking away freedom of speech, because then you have these people who are, it might be somebody who is a rich a-hole who he gets to comment all the time because he has the money to pay for it. Like, no, I should be able to, okay, I'm broke as a joke, but I should be able to comment.
Okay, and then everybody has to pay $1 for a comment. It doesn't matter. Everybody, it's across the board.
And then, as far as the subscription thing, I thought, I would never pay for it. But what I was going to say was, as far as I never thought I'd be the person to pay for Spotify, but then I did. And then now I don't. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to go back to paying for it. I never thought I'd be this person.
Yeah.
But it's prominent enough in my life that
different things. Yeah.
I like some of the features that I get. And part of the features is I want to read my whole dang book. I mean, that's just one of the things I like.
I'm going to
not read. I'm sorry. I'm going to listen to.
I'm going to spin it back to the freedom of speech thing. It's not necessarily blocking freedom of speech, because remember what I said. If the subscription plan, or you have to pay for a comment, to any comment that you make has to have a charge attached to it. Kind of like. I'm trying to think. When you go to a hotel and they're like, well, we need a credit card on file for incidentals, but you don't touch anything. You don't drink the $5 bottle of water in the fridge. It's on file there. So, maybe it's something like that. 2 things would happen. 1, it's going to get tougher for kids to be able to do hate comments, because most of them at middle school and early high school don't have credit cards running around.
That is a perk.
There's something there. 2, it would be across the board for everybody. But here's where I get away from you being able to say it blocks freedom of speech. Speech. It doesn't. And here's why. I said you could post your own content and you could say whatever you want to say. So say, for instance, you put something up and
Says the sky is blue.
It's a picture. You're Bunny XO and it's Jelly Roll and you're walking down the beach. Okay. And somebody wants to put up there, saw Jelly Roll hanging out with a bunch of ex-felons. What's he doing? Going back to the life of crime, piece of shit, And then all of a sudden, tabloids take off and it becomes this negative thing. So instead of being able to do that, you would literally have to take that, put it on your platform, on your actual thread page, feed.
So a stitch,
and,
which
exactly.
exists.
And then you could go from there. And here's where that could be very beneficial.
What?
Say, for instance, you are going to make up this story. I'm assuming this story's made up about Jelly Roll hanging out with, maybe some of the unsavories. I don't know because
he doesn't visit. He visits prisons a lot.
I know, but we weren't there. We don't know exactly what was said. I didn't listen to Bunny's podcast. This is just the one comment I'm taking from it, but I thought it was brilliant. By having it on yours, a couple things happen. I now have direct line of contact site to who the asshole is that's trying to cause these problems. And I feel you could actually deal with these sorts of people much quicker, whether it be in a legal system, whether it be, a defamation type thing, because some of this can border on defamation of character. And, that's where I feel that it would. So hearing this, just on the surface, my opinion, without spending a ton more time talking about it, is I think we got social media wrong from the beginning. If everybody would have had to go in and say, you have to submit a credit card in the beginning and it's on file so that if you want to make a comment, a little thing will pop up. Bloop. This comment will cost you 50 cents. Do you want to proceed? Okay. 2, I'm going to bet you it would have eliminated a whole bunch of problems with younger people, underage, the bullying that happens online with social, the just so much of the negative that seems to stem from, let's say around the middle school years up through some of the high school years, even sometimes beyond. You know what I'm saying?
Can I earn some credits? Like if I say 10 nice comments, then can I earn some credits? Like, how your
so
kid...
you can make a crappy one?
Yeah, well, how your kid plays games and they will ask you, Gavin will ask, Dad, can I buy $100 worth of coins for...
Oh, a great example. Every month I have $10 taken out of my account so he can have more Robux for Roblox.
Right.
Roblox money. Bucks.
So maybe they should do it that way, and there's some sort of system that if there is positive comments and you pay for the positive comments, it will earn you get double point Tuesdays or something like that. So that way,
then you got to have AI filtering through what's a positive
that's the same
comment.
that's the same with what you're saying though. There's going to be people. There are people who can get around the system.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. Yeah,
but
which is why I don't think we should do it with a paid system.
But not everybody can do that. There are the slick ones, just like the people that know how to set up bots to get all the good concert tickets. But that your average Sally who just wants to make a shitty comment because she's having a sour day or doesn't like your hair, Allie, then I guarantee you it would curb a lot of it. I mean, I'm not saying social media was the demise of society, but it was as though the internet took a big shit on all of us.
Yes. I do think it's a lot of it. I really do. Oh, so speaking of a-holes.
This podcast has been nothing but segues.
One of my friends was door dashing the other day, and this person ordered a tobacco product. Well, I don't know if you know this, but on DoorDash and Postmates and other different delivery apps, you have to scan their ID if they buy booze or tobacco.
Oh, that makes sense, though.
They're delivering in what I like to call East Jesus. And what happens in East Jesus?
Nothing good.
They don't
really
have
nothing.
They don't have Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
They go to deliver this tobacco product, and the person opens up the door, and this person says, I need to scan your ID in order for me to give you this product. And the person who opened the door, the gentleman who opened the door, she goes, but I'm not getting any service. I need your Wi-Fi password. And he, okay, hold on a second. It's very long. I have to go get it.
Oh, God, yeah.
So he comes back and he's like, no, I'm not going to give you my Wi-Fi. And she's like, what? I'm not going to give you my Wi-Fi. And I just want you to know, she is now driven about 20-ish minutes to deliver him his tobacco.
Yeah.
So he goes, no, I'm just not comfortable with that. And do you know what her response was?
What?
She goes, what the fuck? To his face. She goes, I need to scan your ID to give you this product. I'm a 40-some-year-old woman who's trying to make a buck. And he goes, okay. And he hands her the Wi-Fi.
Oh, he did end up giving it to her. You know, this is a mixed bag. Hold on a second. This is a mixed bag because I can say that I think I'm proud of the guy for kind of having that moment of questioning it because we just talked about it in the last thing we talked about. There are people that know how to get around the system. There are not. You're biased towards your friend being a good person, but there are a lot of not great people that are out in the world.
Yeah, but
and
she's
you can
holding
hack
it
into someone's entire network, and you can literally attach. I know some computer people, and this is terrifying. The shit that they can do with a network, you could literally go in and attach something based on their Wi-Fi password and see every click and everything they're doing. Now, I'm not saying she is.
Right.
But you have to understand there are people.
She's holding the tobacco thing that you just bought.
It doesn't matter. I'm proud of the guy for stopping in his tracks for a minute.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, here's where the guy should have actually had this, and nobody does it. So I have a mesh network, right? I have a long house, so I have to have, my Wi-Fi be able to reach every point in the house.
Yep.
I have an auxiliary network, like it's a friends network where, like, if you came over, I don't have to give you my Wi-Fi password. I could say, oh, just log into Stately Free Manor 2, and that password is Butthole Stinks 1. And, but it's not mine, and it doesn't, you're not all the way in. It's like a little side thing that's set up. But I'm kind of glad for the sake that, because too many people, how many times you've been on the phone with somebody and you get pretty far into giving some information, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, my BS meter went through the roof on this. And you're like, I'm done.
I get that, but I got your tobacco in my hand.
Doesn't matter.
And I said to her, aren't you afraid that he's going to give you a bad review? And she goes, I've got such great reviews.
At that point, you
she's
don't.
like, I'm such a good DoorDasher.
Yeah, but at that point, I don't care about that, but I do stand behind that because, think about this. There's a little old lady out there that has her sticky note attached to her modem.
I think that's what this guy had.
Because her nephew or great-grandson or whatever set it up. And there's some shifty son of a bitch that's delivering something to this little old lady, and they can pull the same thing, and then next thing you know, she's like, well, here, honey, I don't know if this is it.
I know.
And then she loses every piece of money she has because next thing, they see is whatever. I mean, it's a scary world.
And
although I am glad that she did say that it's a weird way to convince him, but obviously she got her point across because she got the Wi-Fi.
She did. And the thing about Grandma, though, because you're right, on my Wi-Fi app, let me open it up really quick. On mine, I have it where I can share with friends as well. Yeah, I have a share Wi-Fi button. Yeah. So then we tap each other's phones and it shares all automatically, which is really nice. But Grandma's not going to figure that out either.
No, but that would have to be set up by somebody. But you know what? I'm using the point of there are too many people, even though it's your friend and you're very biased to the fact she meant no harm. Right. And I believe she meant no harm. And it's very funny the way. And just
drove 26 minutes so this guy could have his Zins.
It's still, it's...
I wonder if he tipped her.
I don't. You know what I thought you were going to say when we started this?
I need to ask her.
When you shifted this conversation to her story and you said, and I quote, speaking of buttholes, and then you immediately said, my friend who door dashes, I thought you were going to tell me, got to someone's door and was doing the diarrhea dance and had to ask if they could use the bathroom. And I'm wondering, has that ever happened?
I don't know, but I'll ask her. She gets lots of great stories. She delivers pregnancy tests a lot, she says.
Oh, that's interesting.
She said that's the thing that she probably...
Pregnancy or paternity?
Pregnancy.
Well, I can take that in the bathroom you can pee on it.
I know,
paternity is the one where you find out if that's the daddy.
Yeah, but people are still, I don't know why, but they don't want to go to the store and get a pregnancy test.
Oh, you mean, I'm sorry, you delivering those, I thought you meant the results.
Oh.
I'm sorry, my bad.
She's a DoorDasher, not a courier.
My bad, yes, my bad. Well, you kind of are. My bad.
But
confused. You got to ask the question, because when you transition like that, I thought you were going to say she was out in the middle of nowhere and, ate something that was about to come explosively out her butthole.
I wonder.
Wouldn't that be something to know? And would you do it? Would you do it? All right. Let's say, for instance, here comes DoorDash, and this time they're ringing the doorbell, which is a little weird because you had said you could leave it by the front door, but here they are. Okay, so you left it. You're ordering McDonald's. All of a sudden, the doorbell starts ringing, ding, 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 and you're like, okay, well, that's my DoorDasher. What's going on? And you open it up, and they look like a normal enough person, and they're doing one of these. They're like, I'm so sorry, I brought you McDonald's, but could I use your bathroom? I have to. Would you do it?
Only if Zach was home. No, I wouldn't.
So you might let somebody shit on your entryway.
Yeah. I got a
I
power
want people to
washer. I
remember
got a
that.
pressure washer.
Okay, you still gonna give a tip if they take a shit on your entryway?
No.
Oh my God! They asked to use the bathroom.
I don't care. And you know what? I've been in that
And you
situation.
just said you can power wash it.
Wait. I've been in a very close call situation. Yesterday, Jeff, back to the first guy.
Brought you a brown bag lunch.
He forgot something in the vehicle. We drove together. He forgot something, and he had never been to my house, and I was going to invite him in to take a little tour, but I was doing the poo-poo dance, and so I was like, here you go. Here's the keys. Go. Bye-bye. Great. Thanks.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
I
Can't stay. Get away.
I can't believe you. Here we are in a situation where this person is begging for mercy, and you're like, nah.
No,
go
and
ahead,
you wanna know
Go
what?
ahead and shit on my stoop, and you wouldn't tip him. Shit on my stoop.
You know what,
Can that be
though?
the name of this podcast? Shit on my stoop.
Yes. And you want to know what? My mom used to work for the gas company, so she would go in people's houses a lot, and she's totally had to poop in someone's house before. So
yeah,
I feel bad.
Well, Gail probably scared the crap out of somebody to be like, you're going to let me in or I'm crapping on your entryway.
Also, that's different times.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, my mom's been retired for
All right, what if it
6
was a
years
woman?
now.
What if it was a woman?
I still would need Zach there. I can't. I listen to too many murder podcasts. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Women murder too.
Yeah. Okay. She wanted to murder your bathroom. Good place to end right there. Huh?
Yes, it is. Goodbye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.